Seaman.
Dynamic banter. Mike and Steve are gonna do bits and have some fun. Dynamic banter. Honking horns and ringing bells and making good. Dynamic banter. Don't forget the history road on Dynamic Banter.
Guys, welcome to Dynamic Banter. Welcome to yet another quarantine edition of DB.
That's awesome. These have been my favorite editions of the show.
I've loved every minute of it. I think that even when we're allowed to be in the same room together again, Mike, I still want to do it this way.
I'd rather do it this way, and I'll tell you why. There's something to when you have a show called Dynamic Banter, which is based on the back and forth between two friends. It's so much better to take out everything organic and good about it, and to really interject a little chaos and break away everything that makes it right.
Yeah.
No difference in the sound here.
No. Absolutely no difference in sound. Mike and I sound exactly the same, and everything's great. Mike doesn't sound like a digital robot, Mike. This is what the future... If in 20 years, Dynamic Banter is still a thing, and you have died, rest in peace...
Thank you. I'll remember me fondly.
We'll have AI Mike Falzone.
Yeah.
This is what you will sound like no matter what.
I'll be AI Mike Falzone for the rest of this episode.
Guys, welcome to the show. First time he came in on the information superhighway. AI Mike Falzone.
Hey everyone, super horny to be here.
Wait, you gotta go, hey, hi everyone.
I'm not gonna. He would do that. he wouldn't do that. Unless somebody overrided the mainframe at the last second.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, welcome to the quarantine banter. All the buttons still work. Mike, we got to get you that tool. Do you want it back? I got to give it back to you. The little ding.
It doesn't matter.
Wow, what a man.
I'll tell you right now, that's the last thing I would be like, oh, we definitely got to do that.
You learned that kind of shit from your dad, I bet.
What does that mean?
Just being like, that's not important, so whatever.
Have you ever met my dad?
Yeah, like 3 or 2 times.
Yeah, you don't know jack shit about my dad.
Don't you think you learned something like that from your dad? I learned something. Everyone learns something like that from their dad. Like
I'm not
the idea
doubting people don't learn things from their dad. I'm saying my dad does not have that kind of attitude.
Oh, so where did you get the Because for me, I put too much emphasis on possessions. Like, I love little trinkets and I love little toys. And that's where all my love is, basically. And
trinkets and toys.
I find comfort in trinkets and toys. Trinkets and toys bring good tidings of trinkets and toys. Anyway, so for me, if there was a toy you had at your place for the show, and you were like, hey man, do you want this? And then you can have this back on the show. Yeah, like something like that. I would be like, oh, absolutely, I'd love that. But for you, you were just like, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't need it. Because it's like, you don't need it. And I don't need the little toy either. But I miss you doing your little dings, Mike, if I'm going to be honest.
I also miss it. I thought it was very funny. I do think there's something special about, like, Like, imagine if they made one Cloverfield movie.
Right.
How crazy special that would be. Imagine if there was one Rocky movie and that was just that story and that's it.
Right.
To have a couple episodes where it's like, those are the episodes I use the ding on, makes those episodes. It's like if you went back and you watched those, that's a special thing about those.
I completely agree with you, and it's totally like how there's phases in the podcast. Like there was the whole backyard chickens thing that we don't really do anymore, and then there was like what are some History Road? We don't do that anymore.
Good second example. Something we definitely do all the time.
But there are totally like almost seasons in a way of the show.
The phase where we were in the same room.
The phase where Mike was alive and I didn't have to do this with AI Mike Falzone.
Somebody else's idea of what I would sound like and how my dad is.
I gotta get some some robot gear sounds for certain moments. Just to have a little fun, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead and have a little fun with it.
But anyway, I love how you it's a nobler thing, I think.
I don't think it's any better or anyway. It's just how people are. My mom is very like, if my mom is very good at not letting anything bother her that doesn't need to bother her. She's very quick to come to like everything has its place, and that was the time for that, and now that's not that anymore. And she's very good at delegating her passion.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So you got it more from your mom then. I got that.
I got it from my mom.
Yeah, that's nice.
Bless you. The politeness is from my father. Please, politeness was my father.
Wait, those aren't robot sounds.
What the fuck are you doing right now?
I'm trying to find fun robot sounds, but this is like fucking future robot sounds. I want the fucking zeet, zeet, zeets. That's what I want.
You just do it with your mouth then.
All right, fine. I will. So anyway, that's a good trait to have. I have it the older I get. The older I get, the more I realize I put too much emphasis on possessions and little things, and even though there's nothing really wrong with that, it's just the way that I live my life, and that's fine. But if
you think you're trying to make up for something?
No, I think it just feels nicer to just be like, it's like when you don't sweat the small stuff. Like they say, like or pick and choose your battles and things like that. Like I just kind of realize that there's more important things to kind of be like to use your energy on.
Buffering, trying to make sense out of what was said.
How's this
response for this particular conversation?
Here comes Mike, AI Mike. Mike 209.
Don't know exactly what I'm supposed to feel with your life.
Mike, how are you doing, man? How you doing during the QT, the kids are calling it?
Okay, I had a sad morning. I think it was yesterday morning or the morning before that. It's all been one day. It's all been one day.
Yeah, we were chatting about that a little bit with Ryan in the old DB text thread. About
Ryan, who's in a terrible position right now.
Yeah, I mean, there were some.
He's with two mates that are still working every day like it was nothing, I think.
Right, and it's a really funny thread. Do you think it's okay if I? Is it okay if I read some of the messages from that because there were some really funny things that you said.
I don't know. Is that an invasion of privacy?
Absolutely, but I think it's a great exclusive.
And just pretend. All right, we'll cover his name so people don't know who he is.
Well,
Dragon.
There's actually some pretty funny stuff in here now that I'm kind of reading it.
Make the robot voice reader.
Zoot, zoot.
On your phone. Remember how you used to do that on your phone?
Oh yeah. It says Ryan mentioned, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't talk about some of this stuff, but it was very funny. Ryan shared an article, or you shared an article that said California doctors are cautiously hopeful that early shelter at home measures are working. And after
positive, Mike.
But that was after Ryan had said that he has roommates that are still working. And then you said at the end of the article, it says, aside from Ryan's apartment.
Oh, man. I hope that isn't stoking the fires. Well, it is, but I hope that it's not having a profound effect on how he feels.
And then Ryan was saying he wants to just go to Oregon, which feels like a safer place to kind of hole up or whatever. And then he posted a photo of that fucking guy from Tiger Joe King. Exotic. It's not Joe Exotic. It's the guy that's like on the ski, the jet ski. The guy on the jet ski, and then it says, Ryan says, me on my way to Oregon.
Dude, that guy looks like a mascot.
Yeah. Well, remember at one point Joe Exotic calls him a human Chucky doll? It's like, he was such a good roaster.
When you get got by a guy who looks like that.
I know. Well, that's a guy.
Dude, he's kind of like he's like the White Cat Williams almost.
But he's the kind of guy that you'd expect to get called out like that from, because he just doesn't give a fuck.
Doesn't care, man.
He doesn't care about anything. It's crazy. I've never seen such an intense example of that.
Yeah.
What a fascinating documentary. I'm so happy we have it. We're so lucky to be getting, during this crazy quarantine, a lot of cool shit to just watch and enjoy and get your mind off of all the shit going on outside. We're really spoiled with good content. It's really awesome.
We don't deserve it because we can't even isolate properly, and we keep spreading a disease to each other.
I mean, let's listen, man. Hold on. I have to say this. If you looked at the history of Earth from like an alien's perspective, and you were like, just Google it. And they were like, man, this sounds like such a primitive fucking planet where it took them forever to learn the most basic shit. And then they're like, oh, it says they were all wiped out. Let's see what happened. Oh, they all just couldn't stay the fuck away from each other. And they all
had their own places?
Right. Wait, they had places to stay where if they did 100% they could contain the thing that ended up killing them all, but instead they wanted to go be in these little pants on the beach.
Wait, so let me get this straight. We already covered how fun little pants were for sure.
Absolutely. It looks like people loved them.
The one chapter of human history when they have the internet, we gave them the internet.
Yeah, they had the internet.
And so everything they could ever want to see or contact with the people that they love wouldn't necessarily be cut off. All they had to do is stay in the places where their beds are for a little while.
It seems that way. And what happened was they just couldn't stay the fuck away from each other, and they all died.
So what was outside that was so special?
It looks like rocks and maybe water.
No, there has to be something else outside that was so special that they couldn't stay where video games, the internet.
But that's the thing, like, like I think about what could eventually take out the human race, and not to be like bleak and dark and scary and shit, but like it seems like the kind of thing that we're so stupid as a human race, as a race, we're so stupid that it would be something as stupid as just us not being able to just fucking stay home that ended up wiping out humans. Like, as bleak and horrible as the thing it is to even put out into the universe, it's such a fucking humanity thing. It's like, oh, that's really so humanity.
If we all band together and stay quarantined in enough time for the virus to totally die out. You know how it only stays on like porous surfaces for 24 hours and shiny surfaces for 72 hours. Let's say everyone didn't move for 72 hours and the disease didn't spread and it died out. And then we all comes over the news. One newscaster has the job of being like, okay, everyone, it's time to go back outside. We've done it as humanity. we fucking band together and we defeated this thing. And then we go outside and then Mount St. Helens erupts.
Yeah.
And it shoots so high that it fucks up the trajectory of a meteor.
It's just, that's the end. The Earth just gets destroyed.
Yeah, we defeat the virus, and then we get hit with the volcano.
That's the thing. I mean, you know, we if you really look at humanity in history, there's so much stupid shit that had to happen, so that people could learn to do things.
It's all trial and error.
Right. And I think we're certainly in an error aspect of how to handle something like this, because we're seeing that, man, we really don't know what the fuck we're doing on a governmental level, to the point where we're just having to stay home and not leave, and it's like fucking up the economy, and it's fucking up people's jobs and homes and living conditions, and it's really messing with everyone. But we really weren't prepared for the possibility of something like that. It's so crazy.
Like if there's a team in place to research pandemics, and we know there is because there's documentaries about it, and also that movie Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman had to be written.
And it's just absolutely smart to have a team like that.
Right. And then if you're in a position of power and you're like, we don't need this team, and then that thing happens. It's like if we know our cars need gas, and one day we were like, we should get rid of all the gas stations because it's too safe. So I'm buying more gas, and then I'm on the highway. I'm going slow for the weekend, right? And then my car runs out of gas, and I get out, and I'm like, what the fuck? This thing's just gonna stop?
What? Why won't it go?
This thing is just stopped here now without gas?
Dude, the thing is like, I'm a nerd, and I used to, I'm a nerd, and I used to play games like The Sims, or like, you know, did you ever play Sim City and things like that? Like, do you know those games?
Sim City. Yeah. Who has the keys to my beanie? Who am I?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course.
And there were games like Warcraft before there was World of Warcraft, and Warcraft was like a game where
Town of War.
Warcraft, Massachusetts. Did you ever play Warcraft, Mike?
I watched other people play it.
So it was like an RTS, a real-time strategy game, and it was really fun. It was essentially like you got to pick either orcs, humans, or dwarves, I think. And I know there's insane Warcraft fans out there that are going to be really mad at my inaccuracies, but I played it years and years.
Go back to it not mattering.
Anyway, yes, it doesn't matter. So you get to play as orcs, humans, or dwarves. And then basically what you're doing is you're establishing like a strong like faction. So like if you're the orcs, You want the orcs to have the best soldiers, the best kingdom, the best everything, so that if anybody came to attack you, you could just fucking take care of it. So what you do is you put interest in certain aspects of building your society or your war team up, and you have to do that strategically. You have to do it in a way that's like, okay, I'm going to put enough people on industry to chop down the trees and make the wood so that we can build things. And I'm going to put enough people on hunting so we have food for the whole camp. And all of that. And the
then
point,
I'm going to put 4 or 5 people on pandemic duty.
Exactly, that's the point I'm trying to get to. Is like, if you ever had the option of having like a medical team, it's like the most important team when you're making like a make-believe, like strong, like society. You know, it's like you need doctors, you need scientists, you need somebody studying shit that could royally fuck us up as a goddamn society, as a species. You need people focusing on that shit. And you need to trust those people because it's science. And it's really hard not to trust science when there's so much fucking proof.
But Steve, here's where you're kind of an idiot. Let's say that you're playing the game, so you're in charge of everybody.
Right.
And you could only play the game for 2 hours.
Okay.
Wouldn't you want to have as much money as possible in the first hour so people voted you eligible to play for the second hour? Don't you want to be a 2-hour player?
Oh man, this whole analogy is making me so sad and scared. I'm so sad and scared because we really did have we just have people who care more about money and power than people's lives.
Yeah.
Like truly.
Yeah. That shows you. Elliot used to have a joke about meth or something.
Right.
And it was like he would never do meth, but it has to be pretty good.
Right.
Realistically.
Right.
Same goes with like money and power.
Yeah.
Has to be good. If you're going to put you having that or you and your buddies having that over the general well-being of people your show, pretty good.
I mean, I just
having money is coming all the time. It's coming.
That's why I loved people like Jim Henson at the end of the day, because Jim Henson was the kind
had so much power and money.
He totally had power and money in the industry to the point where he could make whatever he wanted, and he did, and that stuff is super cool and celebrated and beloved to this day. But when you think about people like Jim Henson, it's like he truly was just like this beautiful artist that was just like, I'm going to use my money and my power to teach children and to unite people and to laugh.
Dude, so gay to be a beautiful artist. They're not sure how to feel about it.
No, they're
Dude, it's so gay to be a beautiful, selfless artist. They're upset.
Yeah, man, he was just like I mean, and he was just one small piece of human history and all of that, but man, he really did use his power for really fun, nice, selfless things, and it's rare. It's sadly rare.
Well, would you say for us all to be more like Jim Henson or less like Jim Henson? If you have the choice.
Well, let me get the music going first.
If it was up to you. Welcome back.
All right. Well, anyway, I don't want to keep talking about all this gloomy doom shit, but
Talking about in a productive, relatively positive manner. And it's not like I keep saying on me and Zoya's podcast that the cool thing about this is that everyone is kind of on the same or a similar wavelength, but in the whole world, it's not like just something like when there's fires in Southern California, it's like you could tell everyone's kind of thinking about the fires because it's something that threatens us. But as like a race, everyone has a kind of knowledge, at least a base level knowledge of what's going on right now, and everybody's going through it at the same time. So that's kind of a weirdly binding thing.
Yeah.
Promo code Banter.
Also, I really hope you paid for that ad space for your other podcast, Mike.
Yeah, go to welcome to our podcast .banter.
To save 10% off laughs. 10% off a good time. So Mike, I want to talk, let's switch gears a little bit. Just everybody stay home, stay the fuck home. Shit, hang on, I wasn't ready. Shit, where is it? It's right here.
What is that sound?
It's the stepping it's preview. Anyway, so switching gears, Mike, with robot sounds. I have been obsessed with Animal Crossing.
Okay. Talk to me about it. There's a lot of people in the welcome to our podcast promo code Banter Discord that are also obsessed with
Dude, I'm obsessed. I played a lot of Animal Crossing games in the past. You ever played Animal Crossing?
No, but I have played The Sims, and it looks like Fisher Price, My First Sim.
Yeah, it is. It's Baby Sims. It's a wonderful game, Mike. It exists purely. I think the reason why it was even created was because the creator of Animal Crossing wanted a way to hang out with his family who lived very far away, but also do things like go outside and go fishing and shaking trees together. And so he created a game called Animal Crossing, and it's certainly the most lovely little game there is because, it's fucking peaceful and fun and ridiculous, and I've just been obsessed with it. And me and a lot of friends have been visiting each other's islands. In this game, you get islands. They're your islands.
Open islands.
And you can visit each other's islands and hang out and play the ocarina together and have a great time with your friend, meeting little baby animals and giving a kiss to a small animal.
Do you give kisses
to
animals?
You could give kisses to small animals.
That's how this whole thing started, kind of.
Giving little kisses to animals.
Somebody gave a little kiss to a bat, and now everybody has this thing inside.
That's gonna be the storybook version of why is humanity ending, mommy and daddy? And it was like, well, somebody kissed a bat one day.
You know how Papa gives you little forehead kisses every night to send you off to Dreamtown? Somebody kissed a little bat.
But anyway, you can kiss a little bat in Animal Crossing. And
so safe.
It's just really cute. You can customize your town and you can have a great time. And it's just really like calming and wonderful because there's no consequence and there's no true objective other than to just try to make your island the best island it could possibly be. So that's
great.
super.
You can't die.
You cannot die. No, you can get knocked out by tarantulas.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You could pass out if a tarantula bites you, and you could pass out if you get stung by a hornet twice.
So you're going to want to avoid doing that.
Yeah, you're going to want to avoid doing that. But it's such a wonderful game, and I'm obsessed. And so Mike and I were talking about merchandise a little bit before we started the podcast. And he was talking about some future 2 drinks. We were talking about some future merch stuffs, which is super exciting. And I wanted to mention to you, Mike, that in the Animal Crossing game, you can customize and create your own clothing.
Oh, that's
so you can make T-shirts with cool band logos and stuff. And there's even a way.
Somebody made a DB shirt the other day.
Wait, in Animal Crossing?
The chicken hoodie. I put it on my story. Some girl made the chicken hoodie and put the little the characters, Chinese characters.
Oh yeah, the Japanese characters were part of it. That's cool.
Yeah. So you draw that?
Yeah, you can draw that in the game, and then you can do things where you can even pick like an image from the internet and add it into the game too.
Nice.
So there's all sorts of fun customization that you can do. And so I was making myself a beanie in the game, and I love my beanies, Mike. You see me sporting a bean?
Yes.
And you're also a beanie boy.
Yeah, for the 2 months out of the year where you can do that.
That's true. But I'm a beanie baby, and so I had to make myself a beanie, and I made a beanie, and then I was like, oh, I want to put I have this beanie that I got that has a little white tag sewn into it. It's like a maroon beanie with one of those little fold-over bottoms, a classic fold-over bottom.
Yeah.
And it has this little white tag sewn onto it, and then it's like the word shit is embroidered on it, on the little white tag. So it just says shit, and I love it. And I was like, oh, I want to remake that in the game. So I started to make a little white tag, and then I started to spell out words on it, and I was like, oh my God, this is such a fun idea. And so I made a beanie with a tag that says cum on it, C-U-M.
That's great.
And I called it the ET beanie, and it's so great, and I love it. And it made me think, what if this was a real thing that you could have? Is that something?
I thought you were gonna say, it made me think, what if the guy who invented this game got to wear that while he was visiting
his family? Yeah, it's totally not the way to play the game, and it shouldn't be done. And I'm kind of bending the rules of the sweet and innocent Animal Crossing world. But I appreciate the creative freedom they allow you.
Yeah. So you want to make it a reality?
Yeah, I want to make a real beanie like that just has a tiny tag that says "cum" on it, and I love it, Mike. And I think we should do it.
Okay.
Great.
Good meeting.
Great meeting. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Mike.
Bye-bye.
That was a headgum pop.
All right, let's do some ads. Let's jump into some ads really quick. You want to do that, Mike? Does that feel good?
Yes, please.
We only have one, so hold on to your ball sacket.
Then let's jump into that one. We'll do that one, and then we'll go from
We'll
there.
do that one, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Want to do some... we could do some be nice or not be nice after that if you'd like.
And we could do some history roads. We'll have a great time.
We don't really do history roads anymore.
Guys, shout out to Figs.
Figs. Oh, helping our medical professionals get real suited up.
Yeah, now's the time for sure to really reward the people in the medical field right now who are on the front lines of this horrible pandemic we're all dealing with as a society, as a species. But we love people that work in the medical industry because they're truly the ones they're the MVPs right now for sure. And what Figs is, in relation to that, is a really nice, medical scrub making company. They make, wonderful medical outfits for people that work in the medical industries, like dental and medical.
Other nurses. Doctors.
Yeah. All those practitioners, all the ones that wear those boring, scratchy scrubs that when you see them, they activate childhood fears. And Figs makes
for everyone,
for every girl and boy. But Figs makes super cool outfits for medical professionals, and they're all really stylish looking things. And here's the thing, guys. Did you know that a nurse walks about 5 miles per shift? Doctors can work
I
up
want
to...
see the numbers.
You want to see them what?
No, I was just commenting.
Oh, how dare you. Doctors can work up to 80 hours per week, and all on top of devoting themselves to our well-being. Aren't medical professionals practically superhuman? Yeah. Shouldn't they have a uniform that supports them in every way possible? Also, yeah. Figs is an incredible company that is doing something about it. They design medical apparel that looks good, feels good, and helps medical professionals perform at their best, no matter what their day throws at them. No matter what liquid is sprayed onto their bodies or face. Viscous or otherwise. Guys, Fig scrubs are packed with tons of features and functionality. They created their own fabric that's antimicrobial, anti-wrinkle, moisture-wicking, full of stretch, and ridiculously soft. There's tons of pockets, and their styles include some of their styles even have over 10 pockets. That's like where'd I put my keys?
I have much stuff.
Right. I'll never find my 10 pockets, and what I need in my 10 pockets. But if you're the kind of person that likes multiple pockets, more than 2, if you're the type
of person who loves losing your keys without ever putting down your keys. If you're the type of person who loves losing their keys and having their keys simultaneously.
Would you like to lose your keys the second you pick them up? Try 10 pockets.
To yourself.
Guys, anyway, it is useful when you have stethoscopes and pens and pen lights and scissors and tape and alcohol pads and sanitizers and snacks and more snacks and antiseptic and needles. You get the idea. Keys. And they come in a ton of different colors and sizes and flavors, from classic V-neck tops and straight-leg pants to more fashion-forward collared shirts and jogger pants. And not only do they look good, they're comfortable. Like really comfortable. People sleep in these scrubs. People work out in these scrubs. People do ridiculous things your brain can't even comprehend in these scrubs. They might even eat their Thanksgiving turkeys in these scrubs.
All right.
They have yoga waistbands and are ridiculously soft. Did I mention that? So, is there a doctor? Is there a doctor in the house?
So to sum things up, help.
If you see something, say something.
Also, you don't have to be a medical professional.
Absolutely
to get
not.
these. All of us know a medical professional. You have a little bit of money laying around. Now's the time in our human, American, especially history. Let's not forget what's important here. Our American history. If you know a medical professional, get in here. I bet we have a promo code that Steve's about to say, and buy something and give it to someone who you know needs it.
Listen, I'm not a medical professional. I almost was, and I could have been. But if you go to my Twitter header picture, the picture that's like right up top of my Twitter, at Steve Zaragoza, I'm at like Disneyland and there's stormtroopers. You can see me wearing a Figs jacket. I'm wearing a Figs jacket in that photo. I wore it to Disneyland. You want to know why?
You want to see a good example of one and you're not sure where on the internet to go.
Yeah. There's not a specific place. But I'm just making the point. Oh, no. It's the Miller Genuine Draft music.
I can't hear it anyways. Doesn't matter like before.
It bothered me for a moment because I was like, uh-oh, we can't do it now. Not this time, Steven. Anyway, I was just trying to illustrate the fact, Mike, that I'm not a medical professional, but I wore a Figs jacket, and you can see me wearing it, and see how nice it looks on me. I even wore it to Disneyland.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, guys, is there a doctor in your house? Is there a vet tech, a radiologist, or any other awesome human in the medical industry? And even if you don't work in the medical industry, you definitely know someone that does and should tell them about it or gift them some figs. Listeners of Dynamic Banter with Mike and Steve are getting 15% off. For a limited time.
Honk it.
Go to wearfigs.com. That's WEARFIGS.com and enter the code BANTER15 at checkout. That's BANTER15 at checkout at wearfigs.com. Check them out. Maybe help out a baby friend.
Do you have a baby doctor friend?
Thank you, Figs. Do you have a baby doctor friend?
Yes or no?
How you doing, Mike?
I'm okay. I have to go to the bathroom real bad.
Do you
Can you carry this for a second?
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
All right. Let me know if I miss anything.
Mike's going to step away from the... AI Mike is going to step away from the computer for a second. And, which is good. Go ahead. Mike's going to go to the restroom. He's just taking a few steps out of the room to go to the restroom. AI Mike is going to the bathroom. That's where AI Mike is going. He's going to the bathroom, and that's where AI Mike is going. And now he's there. Guys, yeah, I couldn't do this without Mike, that's for sure. I don't know what the fuck I'd do. Yeah, something like that. Okay. All right, you're not a guest, so that's enough. I get it. Stop it.
I found out. I found out. I found out. I found. I found. I found. I found. I found.
Happening. What did I? Why did I mess up? What did I miss, and why did I miss it?
Found out long ago. Whoa, it's a long way down the history road.
Let's do your game, Mike.
Okay, welcome.
And then we'll do some
everyone,
history
one and all.
roads.
What?
And then we'll do some history roads.
Welcome everyone, one and all, to everyone's favorite game show, Be Nice or Not Be Nice. They love. This is a game good friend Steve as good friend Mike would honestly be nice.
Wait. You're going to have to do that all over again. We were losing you for a bit.
What makes you think it's going to be better now?
Because there was, you know, the robot sounds, like when you're trying to, when it cuts out your voice.
Yeah. This is Be Nice or Not Be Nice.
Be nice.
A lot of how to play is in the title, so you should be able to follow along. Of course, if Steve gets 3 out of 3, we're going to give away some merch to a very special, randomized, but hopefully recently active member of the Dynamic Banter family. Today for prizes, thank you, audience. Maybe I'll be easier to understand if I'm not fighting through a crowd.
Well, you're just always stacking those cheers.
And everyone knows my name here. We have Dynamic Banter pins that will, for the first time today, I think Friday, be available on our merch store. But that is the prize.
Which is dynamicbanter.clothing.
Yes. Thank you. Really go nuts. They're really enjoying themselves. And I'm glad they're so far away from each other. Each and every one of them.
6 feet.
Okay, Steve. Is the music playing? I can't hear the music.
Let me boost it for you, you sweet angel.
I could just trust you if you say it's
Do
playing.
you hear it now?
No, but here I go. I have these neighbors, Steve.
Okay.
And they have a 2-year-old. And when they walk together as a family, they have a 2-year-old and a small dog. And when they walk, they let the 2-year-old hold the leash.
That's nice. That's
for
cute.
The dog. It is cute. And the dog is small. But what if anything happens? You know what I mean? That's kind of what I think about every time.
I mean, I guess that's true. You don't want anything to happen. You don't want anything to happen in that situation.
So many things could happen.
So many
that would be
scary
terrible.
things could happen.
Yeah. So I see this every day. Am I being nice or am I not being nice? Big hand for the house band. We have 3 piano players in the Be Nice or Not Be Nice house band. 5 drummers and 3 piano players.
What about that horn section?
That's actually a piano.
I think you're gonna be nice because you don't know, man. Maybe that dog is like super good with those kids and loves those kids and would never put those kids in danger. And maybe the parents are a little too trustworthy of that, but I would be nice. I would say be nice.
Steve, your answer to number 1 is be nice.
That's correct.
3 for 3. We'll do all the answers at the end.
Oh,
and build
okay. So you
suspense.
won't tell me.
Steve, number 2.
You're not going to tell me the answer yet.
I'm not going to tell you the answer until the end.
You're not going to tell.
Steve,
Oh, I see. You're naming.
number 2. Steve makes it clear that he thinks that the soundboard is funnier than our back-to-back back and forth conversation by prioritizing the sound of the soundboard over the quality of my voice during the podcast. Next time I see him, I choose to be nice or to not be nice. Steve.
Oh, we're going to do this here, Mike?
It's a game show. Steve, this is a game show.
Well, first of all, I don't think everybody knows the full situation in this scenario.
That, I don't think it's important. I just think that you're avoiding the answer to be nice or not be nice.
Well, if I needed to answer a question like this as truthfully as I possibly could, I'd want to know a little bit more about the situation.
Okay.
Like, for
Steve
instance,
has chose to go to one of his lifelines, which is buying time.
listen. This podcast is built, Mike. The very foundations of this podcast are built on...
On our back and forth. Wait, what were you going to say?
Absolutely. Are built on, first and foremost, our rapport, our dynamic, hence the title of the podcast. It's very important. It's the framework. And since the very beginning of this show, sound effects, horn honks, pencils, dazeems, comes, it's bins, history roads, cheerings, screams, laughs, Walgreens, mummies, the guy from fucking Star Trek, E.T. again, Adele Dazeem, the bungle music, more it's bins, car honks. Have been a part of this show since the very beginning. And I think just as important as the dynamic, and I think equally in some aspects, I think it's very important. I would say, if this is a close friend, you're going to be nice.
Your answer to number 2 is be nice.
Correct.
Steve, number 3, the people across the street from me tend to go outside and enjoy the fresh air and sit down with each other in a little circle.
I love them. I love it. Sounds
on
nice.
the sidewalk.
Like children?
No. Steve, the next time I see those people, be nice?
Oh, that's...
Or not be nice?
That's a big not be nice.
Because the people were sitting in a circle on the sidewalk.
I'm saying that's a big not be nice. I've never been a fan of sidewalk obstructions. I know a lot of people are.
Yeah.
But I personally have not been a big fan. I hate it. I hate it when something's on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I would not be nice. That's my answer on that.
You would not be nice, but that's not what the game is.
I would say that you would not be nice as well, because that sounds... I peg you for the kind of man that does not stand for sidewalk obstructions.
Okay, so let's go over your answers. Number 1, my neighbor lets their 2-year-old hold the dog leash when they go walk the dog. But what if anything should happen? Steve said me seeing them next time, I would not be nice? Or be nice? You said you would be nice.
I said I would be nice.
Yes. Steve, be nice is the correct answer. I also choose to be nice. I'll tell you why. I am so worried for that child. Every single time, I try not to make any sudden movements. I don't make direct eye contact with the dog. I have this effect on dogs. They want to follow me around.
They just like you, Mike. They can tell when someone's a good boy.
But I do also know that that kid has to learn responsibility at some point.
Absolutely. And why not start him while he's a baby?
Every kid falls on their face, and if that's the time that these kids fall on their face, then so be it. The answer is be nice. We're 1 for 1. Steve makes it clear that he thinks the soundboard is funnier than our back and forth conversation.
Oh, I never said
From
funnier.
here? No, you never said that.
I never said it was funnier.
No, I'm not saying that you said that. This is my perception.
Okay, got
of
it.
what's happening. From now on, I choose to be nice or not be nice. You answered be nice.
I answered be nice. Yes, I would assume that that would be a nice. If I was you, I would be nice.
Steve, the answer is be nice. We're going through hard times.
We're going through hard times. We're twins. We got to stick together.
We're pitching a movie right now where we're going through hard times and we're twins.
It's called We're Twins.
It's called This Is Hard for Us.
We're twins. This is hard for us.
In the city.
That's the sequel, dude.
Steve, now-
Don't give away the sequel yet.
No. We go right from 1 to 3. 3, people across the street tend to sit down and congregate in a little circle on the sidewalk. Steve, you said not be nice.
I would say not be nice. Not a fan of sidewalk obstruction.
Steve, I am also not a fan of sidewalk obstruction, but not enough to not be nice.
Wow.
There is a part of me, it's almost like if we weren't going through a pandemic, I'd be, what the fuck are you doing? Any other day, I would not be nice, but because people need each other so much right now, I recognize that the stupid fucking thing that they're doing is because of their desperate need to want to interact with other people.
Wouldn't you be at least snarky, or you wouldn't even be snarky to them?
100%, but not be. If they said something to me, if they were like, "Hey, good morning," I would be able to look at them and be like, "You need this. Good morning."
I'd be like, "Good morning. Is that the place that you need to sit right now, or?"
And then if I were them, I'd be like, "How many more restrictions would somebody like to put on my life?"
I'd be
right
like,
now?
"Great
Well,
point. 6 feet away from each other. Wash your hands," and I'd be gone by then.
I just don't know why they sit on the ground and on the sidewalk.
It's almost
Sitting
as
on
if
the sidewalk
society
is so
has
stupid.
unraveled itself.
Yeah,
We have
and
people
everyone's like, you should buy guns because everyone's gonna start going crazy. And the craziest thing I've seen is 4 people sit on the
Listen, we can't have people sitting on the sidewalks. Next thing you know, they're going to want to walk across the street.
What's this, Marshall sitting? They're sitting like marshals anywhere they want.
Exhibit A, Your Honor, is a couple of gentlemen sitting. As you can see, nothing wrong with that. Exhibit B, it's the sidewalk, and it is the middle of it.
So we were 2 for 3. No one wins anything.
Bummer.
This time.
I'm sorry,
But
everybody.
that's all right.
I'm sorry who could
That's
have
what makes
won.
it a game show. We got to make it high stakes. What we should do now is scroll through and get somebody's name and be like, "You would
You
have
didn't
won."
win. Or you didn't win. Don't send us your address.
Yeah, scroll through, get 1 Twitter follower, and be like, "You would have won. You would have won if we didn't go 2 for 3."
All right, I'm doing it right now. Should I do it through?
And that's what makes the game so special. The game needs to have losers sometimes.
I'm gonna do it
So
through
we have stakes.
through Twitter,
Great.
and I'm gonna go to someone who interacted with us.
Okay. Twitter, of course, for anyone who doesn't know, is a website where almost anyone could talk to anyone else.
Uh-oh.
And if you have next to your name, definitely talking to that person.
We got robot sounds. We had robot sounds, Mike. You were cutting out a little bit.
Were they downloading off of Winamp for the past hour and a half? You get
Okay.
them off Kazaa earlier?
Carly Knappman.
Carly Knappman, that sounds like somebody who's almost won a time or 2. Man, were you close to winning?
Wait, I don't think they don't give me the option to. I don't think they give me the option to message them. Oh, because they don't
well.
follow us? Is that why?
Well, looks like we lost as well.
Sorry, Tracy Chapman. You don't win this time.
Getting your fast
Here we go.
car.
Monique Q. I'm sorry. You did not win a free item.
Is it Monique Quistor?
It's Monique Q. Monique what?
Okay. I might know this person.
Please
I
don't
recognize this person.
send your address. Thank you. There it is. I'm sorry you
Gonna
did
wake
not
up
win a
and see
free
that and be
item.
like, Have I been setting my address?
All right. Great. Okay, so you want to do a quick history road and then we could scooch out?
Yeah, you can do that.
I love that. I love that idea.
I found out long
This first history road comes from Carly Krickenberger.
Sounds like a made-up name.
You ever go to like Minnesota and try the Krickenberger? You gotta try one before you leave Minnesota.
Don't leave Minnesota without getting a cricket burger.
Carly Krickenberger says Freeze Frame is a bad song.
Release the Kraken.
You know that movie, or you know that song Freeze Frame, Mike?
No.
I'll sing it for you in a sec. But here's the email. Hi, boys. The radio won't stop playing Freeze Frame by Jay Giles. And it's a bad, bad song. That's all for now. Hope you're staying sane during this time. Bye, Carly Krickenberger.
Bye, Carly. Bye, Carly was my favorite Disney Plus show.
Mike, did you know that they've got an Impossible Krickenberger coming soon?
That was somebody complaining about a song on the radio.
Yeah, so there's a song called Freeze Frame. You've heard it. It's the one that goes, Freeze Frame! It's like,
Okay.
wait, you don't know it at all, Mike? It's okay.
Maybe.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's an okay song.
What do they want us to do about it?
They want us to talk about it, I think.
Okay.
But Mike doesn't know the song, so it makes it
I don't
less
ever
fun.
think I'm in a position to listen to the radio.
Oh, really? I listen to the radio
When?
when I'm in my car, which has been it hasn't been very much.
I get in my car and I either immediately put on a podcast or a Spotify playlist.
Yeah, I'll do that too. But there's a radio station I really like that's a local one in Woodland Hills. And I can't remember what it's called, god damn it. But they're like an independent station and they play all this really cool shit. And it's all like
101.3 The Hills.
the hills are alive with the sound of the hills. But they play like super deep cut, like alt rock stuff. Like they'll play like super deep Talking Heads cuts and then they'll play
So
like
that's not the type of station that would play a song like Freeze Frame.
You know, I wouldn't put it past them because there's some DJs that like pop in and they're like, we're doing a new wave flashback and we're listening to Jay Giles. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, but for the most part, it is like pretty bohemian alt rock kind of stuff.
Roger.
Like, but then they'll do Sunday with the Beatles, but they'll play like all the deep cut Beatles stuff. Like, you don't like the stuff you never hear on the radio.
The Long and Winding Road.
Yeah, yeah. And Fool on a Hill and stuff.
Damn.
Anyway, so yeah, but
Is Fool on the Hill and Nowhere Man the same guy?
yeah, I think it is the same guy. It's a sequel. What's the Beatles song where they're like, "We told you about strawberry fields"?
The last song.
Yeah, it's like, is that the sequel to Strawberry Fields?
I was just like, remember these other songs we had. You're not gonna remember this one that fondly.
Do people still do that, or does anybody do?
Dude, Glass Onion was like the RPG, not RPG. What was the augmented reality Cloverfield game?
The
was,
ARG.
Meant to string everything together.
Yeah,
but it didn't really work.
Oh shit,
That's
they
like
mentioned
that.
Strawberry Fields. It's in universe.
Okay.
It's in game. Strawberry Fields is in game. That's a shirt.
Yeah.
Um,
Dude, it's a swamp pop like thing, but it's the flavor strawberry field.
Dude, Is there any other artists that mention their other songs? Like, I think They Might Be Giants has, but I might know that because I listen to a lot of They Might Be Giants. But do you know of any band? Like, I'm sure rappers do it.
Yes, rappers do it.
That's cool.
I think Jay-Z and Kanye talk about their own albums.
Yeah. I feel like the pop stars might also. Like Katy Perry, I wouldn't put it past her to be like...
Miley Cyrus is always talking about how her hands were up during all of her songs.
I used to be a wrecking ball.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, this short quarantine road comes from Maria Spangle, my favorite Ghostbuster, and she says...
Spangle Banner.
Hello, boys. I'm Maria, and I've lived through 19 Christmas.
That's such a fun thing to say.
I'm writing this email to tell you two honky boys how much your big, dumb, stupid podcast means to me. I'm going through a really horrible breakup at the moment, and I'm listening to DB while playing Animal Crossing, and it has been the best way to keep my mind off of it. So thank you so much for being such a scatterbrained and loud distraction from my lonely girl sadness. Also, I have been in love with Zoya ever since I meet her at Mike's show in Chicago, and she complimented my hair. Stay goofy, Maria.
Maria.
Maria Spangle.
That's my favorite Ghostbuster, dude. Thank you so much, Maria. Sorry you're going through a breakup. Sorry somebody lost out on loving you.
Yeah, they lost out. They lost out. You got to know that. You're the one that listens to DB and plays Animal Crossing. You're a catch, dude.
Yeah, man. You're friends with Zoya. You don't need any other friends.
There's plenty of people in the DB fan base, the DBFB.
Run by Vince McMahon.
That would probably love to take you out or something. And maybe that could happen someday, because then you'd be like-minded people and maybe you'd get along. Like-minded people.
Like-minded people doing a very good job. Excellent. Doing podcasts. I can't do it. That's so good. And you do the podcast. The gurgle gets me so hard.
It's so good, man. It's so good. Yeah. Let's do one more and then we'll say goodbye. Brendan Beckett says...
Hold on. Email Maria.
Okay.
And tell her that she gets the pin that the other person lost.
Okay, great.
And for her address.
Maria.
She gets a breakup pin. Every time you see this pin, I want you to think about this breakup.
We just decided that we want to send you a DB pin. Thank you.
Ask her what size she is.
For being awesome. And best of luck to you during these trying times, an egg.
I would think about the breakup every time she looks at the pin.
Oh, and then P.S. Mike wants you to think about the breakup every time you look at the pin. Oh, let's see. Send us your address. Okay, great. All right, one more History Road, and then we get out of here.
Get out of me, baby.
Brendan Beckett sends a History Road saying, blank is my favorite blank. Coronavirus
sounds like he would be a Oliver Twist, like a friend of Oliver Twist, one of Fagin's boys.
Right.
Brendan Beckett.
Or like Tom Sawyer's friend, Brendan Beckett, yeah. Brendan Beckett has a bucket.
He just always has a bucket.
Brendan Bucket's more like it. Brendan Beckett says, "Hey boys, I usually don't do things like email podcasts, but quarantine has driven me mad. Mad, I say. So there's no telling what I might do next.
Sit on the sidewalk.
Just wanted to report a Lee History Road that occurred last night as I was in bed listening to the latest episode of Sawbones that was talking about the evolution of medical masks. That's interesting. At one point, she was describing a certain material used in a kind of mask and said it was sometimes described as feeling like the ribbons you put on gifts, but more stiff. But she phrased it as stiffer gift ribbons."
The lesser known member of Kiss.
Damn, that's so good. That's a perfect one. I said to myself, stiffer gift ribbons is my favorite Monty Python character.
That's very funny.
This caused me to laugh out loud alone in my room. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's great.
Alana, what was the name we came up with? Alana and I came up with a name last night. It's Rebecca. Rebecca Peterson? Rybrecca Peterson. It's very funny. Anyway, caveat. I don't know Monty Python all that well, and there's probably a better punchline. Oh, dude, no, that was great. It was perfect.
Dude, one of you was like, there's probably already one of these. I don't know the show that well.
Also, I had ingested some substance that is federally legal for recreational use in Canada, actual humble brag, so you probably had to be there. Also, as I mentioned, I've gone quite mad from quarantine. Oh, dude,
wow,
you don't have
this
to...
person really didn't think that was as funny as it is.
It was very funny. It's very, very funny, Brendan. And he
Believe
says,
in yourself, Brendan Buckets.
Oh, he says, believe in yourself, Brendan Buckets! P.S. Hypothetical. If they invented a vaccine for COVID-19, but it involved spinning, would you do it?
Absolutely not.
Are you kidding me?
Not.
No.
Have you learned nothing?
If they were like, you could be immune to coronavirus for the rest of your life, you just have to spin as fast as the old lady did in the helicopter as long as she was spinning for.
Oh, thanks, bud.
No fucking way! Kill me! I'd be like, I'll take my chances.
Yeah. No, thank you, bud. I'm sorry.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, thank you, Brendan. That's a very good hypothetical and a very good blank is my favorite blank. So you should be proud of yourself and be less self-conscious about your sense of humor, you piece of shit. All right. Mike, you got any plugs?
Yeah, man. I come to all my shows in the future.
Mike's going to come on a show in the future.
Also, I've been taking pictures and selling prints of those pictures at MikeFalzone.com. You just click on the photography button. Obviously, video episodes of this show come out every Saturday. I think Ryan's been getting those up. Me and Zoya have a podcast called Welcome to Our Podcast. If you're also in love with Zoya, and she's the star of that one. And yeah, man, got some things in the works, and hopefully they keep happening. But very excited to take a break from everything and talk to it as many people as possible. Keep talking to each other. Thanks for watching our.
Man, thank you for saying all that, Mike. But you're gonna hate this episode. I already know it. Like the last half
was terrible.
The last half of what you said was like robot cutout.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you so much.
It's a great program that we have here. The internet is doing great job. The internet's great. We're having a great time.
We're doing great, internet.
Well, listen, we live in a time of experimentation, and truly we're trying to make the show work in the way that you like. But you know, we're gonna try different things, and so there might be quality differences and audio issues and stuff, but we're trying to figure it out. This all sucks. It's so frustrating and shitty to try to make this thing work the way that really, really works. But it might just have to be one of those things where it's just Mike and I kind of just talking to each other, and I think that'll be fine, probably. And And I think it'll work out, and it'll be fun because everybody will be able to handle it because we're all adults, and it's the way things have to be until we can be in the same room together. And it's something Mike and I talked about too. It's like it's probably not very safe to be in the same room together, but I don't know, man. Something to think about.
We could. The Sidewalk seems to be really popular.
Let's just do the podcast from the sidewalk across the street from each other.
Yeah. Dude, I stood at a crosswalk with somebody. I looked at him for like 15 minutes, and I thought we were having a really nice moment, but it was just because neither one of us wanted to touch the button. So thank you so much for joining us on Dynamic Banter, and stay tuned for more jokes like that in the future.
Well, Mike, I hope you're doing well, my friend, and I hope Zoya's not going crazy, and I hope you guys are both okay. And I really
she
miss...
did it. We're pregnant.
Oh shit! April Fools. I really miss you guys. I miss seeing you guys, and this all really sucks. So great to talk to you, buddy.
I think it's a Democratic hoax, and we'll be out of the woods.
Birds aren't real. The coronavirus aren't real, and
you say birds aren't real?
Birds aren't real. No. They're robots. Birds are robots. All right. Well, thank you all for coming and listening.
You had your hearing test
and we
today?
really love you all, and we appreciate your support during these difficult times and your listenership. And one last note is, if you want Dynamic Banter merch, you can go to dynamicbanter.clothing, and that's where our stuff is at. But also, what was the other thing I was gonna say? Something about the.
I'll get to work on that.
Oh, something you can help. Oh, yeah, that beanie, yeah, for sure. But something that can help us out a lot during these quarantine times, and if you guys have free time, is to go to iTunes and write a review for the podcast. It could be one word, it could be a whole paragraph, it could be whatever you want, but it's always nice, and it looks good for us if our rate and review section on iTunes looks really good, and it helps kind of rank us, and that might help for future things and help just with the life of the podcast in general. So if you have time, please certainly just put a little bit of time and effort into a rate and review, because Mike and I give you all these free laughs and shit. The least you can
Steve got very angry at
the least you can do is write something nice for us. Anyway, that's it. If you have time, whatever, you don't have to do it. All right.
Thank you very much. That would be very nice. All right, Steve. I'll see you next week.
Take care, my friend. I'll hug you next week. All right, goodbye.
All right,
That was a HeadGum podcast.